Okay. I have built a wall in the desert, a tall wall, a wall 5 knees high. It is casting a cool shadow on the scorching land. The walls grow much faster than trees here and give better shade for less water. With 1,000 buckets of water, I can build a tall wall to give me shade for 1,000 years. Each bucket of water in exchange for a year of shade. And the earth of the wall is the token of land. I sit in the shade of the wall after standing the motorcycle in its thin stretch of shadow. The engine is covered with dust. The chrome struggles to shine through thin layers of grime, and heat is rising from the solid steel. Gazing at the pile of wet clay earth near the wall, after a while I sink my fingers in its softness and pick up a handful of it. The sensation of riding the motorcycle and the vibration are still in my body. My right hand, restless from throttling for a long time, feels more at ease now, filled with wet clay. This clay, this rich earth, so abundant all over the world under our feet, holds a beautiful dream in it, I think to myself. A beautiful dream that only I can see. I pick up a jar of water in the shadow and drink, letting it drip over my face and neck. It trickles under my shirt and cools me off. The place is desolate. The sun is pulling up to noon high, and I flatten against the wall into the narrowing shade. The clay in my hand has enchanted me and drawn me away from the city to this shimmering mirage. But I can see the mold, the idea taking shape. The idea that has been inspiring and pursuing my mind for a long time. It all comes alive in front of my eyes. I form the clay into a large space of my own life's size. I build a house out of this earth clay, large enough to sit, sleep, and walk around in. Then I set a great fire to my clay house and bake it to become like a giant hollow brick, like a giant hollow rock. It excites me, the magic of the fire. I get up, sit on the motorcycle, and lean to hide in the shade. Now I imagine the ultimate beauty, the permanent beauty, the glazing of the house. Yes, I think to myself, once I build the house out of the earth and sculpt the spaces inside, once I have the surfaces covered with ceramic glaze coating, then I will start my great fire and create an eternal beauty, the beauty of a glazed ceramic house. As I visualize the forms and textures of spaces I'm going to create, I remember nuns picking up seashells along the Pacific Ocean. I remember the unending curved forms of mud roofs in Yazd, an ancient town made of earth at the edge of the great desert. I now mold the clay in my hand into the form of a seashell, hold it to my ear, and listen, trying to hear the ocean in it. I can't hear a thing. If I can only glaze inside this house I'm building and let the fire burn the edges with glaze, I'm sure I can create the sensation of a seashell. It will also have the ocean sound. In the hot sun, I think how I could lean against the blue glazed wall of my house, bare-bodied. I would feel like crawling into one of those seashells. I take it out of the notebook from the long punching bag that serves as my motorcycle pack. Just before the sun will make me leave the shadowless wall in this August heat, I go through the notebook, trying to inject yet a little more confidence into myself. Oh yes, when the house is built, when the house is glazed and fired to a solid structure, then no heat of the sun can penetrate it easily. No cold of the winter can enter it fast. No rain or flood can wash it away, and no earthquake can destroy it. The clay in my hand is pressed into formlessness again. I throw it back into the pile, put the notebook back in the bag, and get ready to leave. I turn on the gas, and with a surge of vigor, kickstart this husky engine. Revving up for a few seconds before taking off, this thought comes to me. If I can successfully fire and bake ceramic glaze into my house, then after 6,000 years of making pots sized for the mantelpiece, I will start the revolution of living in ceramic spaces. It will be a true integration of ceramic art into architecture. I drive to the village, park the motorcycle in the elm tree shade, pick up the bag and go inside my room. I spread a cloth on the floor and slowly eat cucumber, thin bread, and cold meat. Then I lie down to pass the sizzling noon to 5 heat. This whole village is sleeping. The population is 6, and I am one of them.